Establishing energy cooperatives is neither easy nor clear-cut, as we have already seen. The very fact that there are only a few functioning cooperatives in Poland confirms the existence of many barriers.
Główną barierą,
The knowledge barrier is the key thing that is keeping energy cooperatives where they are today, namely the slow development and unrealized potential for the Polish economy, for the Polish society as a whole, and for local government. Energy cooperatives are not simple matters. The concept is not easy to understand for local governments and by local communities, who are often unable to cope without proper support.
Często one nie są w stanie sobie poradzić.
Biogas plants are undoubtedly the most stable source of renewable energy available. There are relatively few of them operating in Poland. We visited one of the best farmer-owned biogas plants in Rypin.
Pierwsze kroki, jeżeli chodzi o wybudowanie biogazowni, to były właśnie oparte o spółce Wiatrak.
The building of our biogas plant started with the Wiatrak company, which had built 3 wind turbines in this area. We were a producer group of 16 pig farmers, and the purpose of our producer group was to reduce costs of operation, marketing and sales. So we started with the construction of the biogas plant precisely because we wanted a joint scheme that would bring us benefits, some financial benefits, but the biogas plant also provided us with the means of disposing of slurry that we produced on our farms. We could also process agricultural waste from our farms.
Którą wytwarzamy w gospodarstwach, można przetworzyć niezagospodarowane płody rolne. I stąd ta idea tutaj budowy biogazowni. Biogazownia kieruje się zupełnie innymi zasadami jak inni wytwórcy, czyli jak fotowoltaika, czy też jak wiatrak.
The principle of operating a biogas production plant is completely different to the principle of operating photovoltaics or wind turbines. The main requirement is to have a daily input of substrates every day. The economics operates completely differently to other types of renewable energies. Here, the key thing is the efficiency of operation of the biogas plant. Since 2021, our operating efficiency has been around 95%. This is a green energy source, so we have been able to sell our energy as green energy since 2020. This means contracting a given volume of energy at a given price. The price is revalued once a year on the basis of an inflation index. We have to allocate the volume of energy according to the contract, so we don't have any surplus energy to dedicate outside, for example, to supplying an energy cooperative. There are various possibilities to increase the production, but this means investing in an additional cogenerator and investing in additional capacity. We already have a power connection to the grid, so the energy could be sold through the cooperative to a final consumer who is part of the cooperative. So when it comes to the idea of the energy cooperative, as far as I'm concerned, I think it's a great idea, and we certainly would like to be involved in one.
Musielibyśmy mieć też przyłącze energetyczne, żeby można tą energię sprzedać w ramach spółdzielni, czy też do odbiorcy końcowego. Natomiast jeżeli chodzi o spółdzielnie energetyczne, ja uważam, że
The energy cooperative is about clean and green energy. It's about symbiosis between society and people who can come together. Additional jobs are created, but above all it's about energy security and the security of energy supply, which is so important to many of us.
Bezpieczeństwo przede wszystkim energetyczne, zaopatrzenia bez przerw w dostawach, czyli sama idea jest naprawdę, uważam, że bardzo dobra, jeżeli chodzi o powstawanie spółdzielni.
Complicated technical issues are certainly another significant barrier for the establishment of energy cooperatives. We visited the AGH University of Science and Technology in Kraków to learn more about microgrids and other aspects of energy cooperatives.
Stworzyliśmy tutaj w laboratorium w AGH mikrosieć.
We have created a microgrid here in our laboratory at the AGH. It's a typical microgrid which is made up of different elements, which include photovoltaics, programmable downloads, and energy storage. We also have a hybrid photovoltaic inverter, which also works with the energy storage. We have a heat pump here in the laboratory, and we also have microgrid functions. In addition, our microgrid is connected to two facilities in the Podhala region. This is part of the Reflex project. The two facilities are two hotels which are included in this virtual power plant, which we can control and measure energy demand and control the energy supply. Just in case the two hotels have backup generators, this whole arrangement of controlling and connecting all the elements through the microgrid gives us the opportunity to introduce appropriate algorithms which balance energy consumption and energy production. As a result, we try to save as much energy as possible.
Mikrosieć generalnie to jest zbiór różnych źródeł i odbiorów.
A microgrid is a collection of different energy producing sources and consumers. Such a microgrid should ideally be controlled in some way. These so-called SCADA systems have been developed to manage this microgrid. The microgrid can also function in different ways because the elements can operate independently, but they can also cooperate as part of a single system. The idea is to have some kind of energy source, some kind of consumption, and preferably also some kind of storage facilities which can store energy. So when the energy comes from a renewable resource, for example from the sun, and the sun doesn't shine, or the wind and the wind doesn't blow, or when there's a drought and there is no water energy, then we can use the energy from the storage facilities in some way.
Możliwości tak naprawdę generacji tej energii, bo też jeśli chodzi o fotowoltaikę, to tutaj
At the very beginning, it's important to do some research to ascertain the profiles of the consumers involved, to see what possibilities we have for generating energy to satisfy their needs. When it comes to photovoltaics, different locations have very different efficiencies. When it comes to wind, it's the same. So it's also worth considering whether there should be some form of hydro installation. Such an additional element is important for a microgrid because it provides a stable source of energy supply. In our microgrid, the stabilizing function could be provided, for example, by a small biogas plant. Hydrogen is also a possibility, but this really is a song of the future, in Poland at any rate.
które często tworzono. Mogą to być na przykład właśnie jakieś małe biogazownie. Mogą to być też, bo też o tym się myśli, to zależy od konkretnego miejsca. To wydaje się, że jeszcze jest w przypadku Polski pieśń przyszłości, ale też na przykład rozwiązania oparte o wodór.
For several months now, we've had warnings of possible blackouts. This is when the power grid shuts down in part or totally. Energy cooperatives, which are established mostly in rural areas, have also a role to play in this regard. Power cuts pose a special risk in rural areas.
Największe zagrożenie jest przy produkcji zwierzęcej, bo tutaj ciągłość energetyczna musi być zapewniona.
The greatest risk is in livestock production, where the continuity of energy supply must be assured. I'm a farmer with a 100-hectare farm and 120 sows in a closed cycle. In my pig farm, the fans have to be operated continuously. I cannot imagine a situation where the fans stop operating. It would be a catastrophe and my pigs would probably suffocate. I'm aware that I have to now purchase a generator of some kind to minimize the risk of power cuts. It's the continuity of energy supply that is at issue here. Without this, it's impossible to run the farm.
Inaczej nie da się poprowadzić hodowli. Nie ma takiej możliwości.